We're joined now by Jason Sugarman, QC, who is a tax fraud expert. Well, we need to try and unpick these things. As Sean was saying, it's associated to national insurance, image rights, income tax. Where exactly are HMRC coming from with this, Jason?
We've got to be careful not to comment on this case because it's still under investigation. But the messages I've seen in the media are that it's undeclared income tax and national insurance. So what's happening is unprecedented. They're going for the clubs rather than the players. And the clubs, the way they've been managed, the payments to players, you say image rights, sponsorship deals, those are all under the spotlight.
Interestingly, it's £5 million, which is a lot of money, of course, in everyday life. In the world of football, that's not that much money, sadly. Dimitri Payet, one of the players who transferred from Marseille to West Ham and then back to Marseille, most recently is transferred for somewhere around £40 million involved in that, if we believe what's written in the newspapers. So £5 million in amongst that doesn't seem that much.
No, I think some of the transfers after 7 years for the two clubs are about 190 million in total. But it's still important that it's looked at and there's proper corporate governance. I think what's different now is they used to go under Labour, they encouraged these tax schemes, film schemes, and we were losing 16 billion a year in tax revenue, and the government decided to tighten up on that. Now, what's happened is different. They're not going for the players individually, they're going for the clubs. And clubs tend to be run by quite large characters and personalities, and corporate governance is obviously going to be tightened up, and that's what's happening. I've never seen a case where 180 officers have raided two clubs like yesterday. Normally, when I've done big cases, it's 7 or 8 officers, and it's sending a big message out that it's not acceptable, and they want to stop this.
Do you think this is going to get wider?
Well, again, not wanting to comment on it too closely, but we know Chelsea have been involved behind the scenes. Clubs, if there's a transfer, it's between two clubs. How many transfers have there been over the last few years? You can do the maths. It will be very, very big and wide-ranging. But it may be a disruption technique of Customs and Revenue to go in there, say this is unacceptable, this has got to stop. And I think it may involve agents that are representing different players. Sometimes players have more than one agent doing different things.
And undoubtedly, the fans of these clubs will be sitting there thinking, goodness me, what does this mean for my club? Is it going to be a financial penalty? Is it going to be points deduction? We're coming towards the end of the season. Just in terms of time frame, if something like that was to come down on one of these clubs, when do you see this actually coming to fruition and then there being an adjudication? You've
heard of seizures of phones and computers. Well, that can take a long time to go through that material and sift it. And if it does end up in court, it could be 2 or 3 years away. So, you know, it's a long, ongoing investigation. What I would say is that clubs have got to get real about this and start putting in structures that prevent this happening. So now they know that they could be on the hook for this. They need to look at corporate governance like a proper PLC would and have proper advice early on.
Right, Jason Sugarman, thanks very much indeed. Seems extraordinary that, that it's taken this long for them to consider something like that.
Yeah.
But good to talk to you this morning.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.